Of all the taboo books, the Necronomicon is undoubtedly the most mysterious of all. It's not just a fabled book. It's a mystery that runs through the ages, every time it appears, all accompanied by death, madness, even bizarre disappearances. According to legend, the earliest version of the Book of the Dead was called Al-Azif by a man known as Crazy Arab, Abdullah al-Hazard, completed in 730 AD. Al-Hazlade was no ordinary scholar. He was an alchemist, a traveler, and a poet. He has traveled through Egypt, Persia, and Babylon, ultimately deep into the Arabian Peninsula, the Rabhali Desert, the open land. Legend has it that this desert hides a cursed city, Iram of the Pillars, also known as the City of 1,000 Pillars. In this city, he discovered ruins older than human civilization. They even witnessed an existence beyond human comprehension. In his book, he describes a sleeping old ruler. They are not dead, but sealed out of time, waiting to be called. Al-Hazard was said to have suffered from delirium in his later years, chanting incomprehensible language all day long. He's in the bazaar in Baghdad. He suddenly disappeared in plain sight. Some say he was torn apart by invisible monsters. Others say he was dragged into another dimension. Al-Hazlade's writings were secretly circulated after his death until 950 AD. Byzantine scholar Theodorus Philatus translated into Greek, and it was first named Necronomicon. Since then, the book has continued to appear in different civilizations, but every country that has touched it has tried, ban or destroy it. The year is 1050. The Byzantine Empire ordered the burning of all copies. 1232. Pope Gregory IX proclaims the Book of the Dead. For heretical works, circulation is prohibited. In 1586, the occultist John Dee. It is said that the English version of the Book of the Necromancer was translated and tried to communicate with otherworldly beings. Ultimately, his research materials mysteriously disappeared. In the 17th century, it is said that some of the manuscripts are stored in the Vatican's secret archives, but this claim has never been confirmed. The reason why this book is terrifying, not just because of its content, and because everyone who reads it has suffered misfortune. In 1570, the collective disappearance of the Spanish Black Friars. In 1570, a group of monks in Seville, Spain, obtained a Latin translation and conduct research in secret. After 7 days, the entire monastery disappeared en masse. All that was left was a blood-soaked Book of the Dead. When the investigators entered, they found a line of Latin inscribed on the wall. Non estate mortuus quod aeterna estate. 1690 to Salem witch trials. In 1692, during the witch trials in Salem, USA, there is evidence that several of the witches held the Book of the Necromancer, the remaining pages, before they were executed. He repeated words similar to Sumerian and predicted, "They are about to wake up. When the stars return to their place, we will eventually return." In 1924, the disappearance of archaeologist Marcel Duran, French archaeologist Marcel, when Marcel Duran was archaeological in Egypt, found a slate engraved with the runes of the Book of the Dead and tried to decipher it. However, he mysteriously disappeared from his hotel in Cairo. All that was left in the room was a broken parchment. It depicted a strange altar. Since the 20th century, rumors about the Book of the Necromancer continue. In some secretive academic circles, some people claim to have seen fragments of it. 1953, in a Cold War experiment by the CIA, suspected use of the Book of the Necromancer for psychological control research. In 1978, a British historian is at an underground site in Iraq, found a stone tablet engraved with the words Necronomicon, but the cultural relic was later recovered by the government and is missing. In 1994, a university professor who studies the occult has gone missing in Berlin, Germany. When the police entered his office, I found a book on the desk that was said to be a replica of the Book of the Necromancer. Some people believe that these events are not coincidental. It has to do with the dark knowledge in the book. Regarding the Book of the Necromancer, one can never be sure. Is it a complete literary hoax? It is still a secret that has been deliberately concealed. Some scholars argue that the Book of the Necromancer may be a variant of an ancient religious text. It reflects the early civilization's fear of the unknown. Others are convinced it's real, just deliberately hidden, because humans cannot bear the truth. Some legends suggest that the Book of the Dead may not have completely disappeared. It is instead hidden in some of the most mysterious places in the world, such as the Vatican's secret archives. Rumor has it, the Catholic Church has collected and sealed many heretical texts. It includes fragments of the Book of the Necromancer, the classified library at the Library of Congress. It was theorized that the U.S. government has long studied the paranormal and may hold a sealed Latin version. The banned stacks at the British Library. There is a large amount of content stored here that is too dangerous or heretical, and books that are banned from the public. It is said that the Book of the Dead may be hidden within it. However, no official body has admitted the existence of this book. It seems to be forever torn between reality and fiction. In recent years, some occultists have tried to learn from various ancient texts, looking for clues in ancient ruins to verify the authenticity of the Necronomicon. For example, 2011, a team of archaeologists discovered a stone tablet in the Iranian desert. It was engraved with runes similar to the Book of the Dead, but the stele mysteriously disappeared before it was brought back to the museum. In 2017, a scholar of Sumerian mythology claims to have discovered a letter. 16. The content mentions a monk found a forbidden book about the old gods, but the letters were refused public display by the museum. The year 2022. There are anonymous hackers claiming to have found a digital version of the Book of the Dead on the dark web, but everyone who tried to download it suffered a network failure. Some even reported that the device was attacked by an unknown virus. Whether these events are true or false, we cannot confirm, but they certainly add to the mystery of the Book of the Dead. Many legends about the Book of the Dead all revolve around those manuscripts that may still exist. According to some unconfirmed literature, the following places may contain surviving pages or translations. The catacombs of Istanbul. There was a rumor going around that during the Ottoman Empire, a batch of the faithful secretly kept an ancient Arabic version and hide it in an abandoned tomb somewhere. So far, no one has been able to find it. Nalanda Monastery ruins in India. In the ruins of this once destroyed Buddhist temple, archaeologists have found some manuscripts dating back to the 10th century AD. Some of them recorded a kind of forbidden knowledge. It may be related to the Book of the Dead. The ruins of the Library of Alexandria in Egypt. Here, a great ancient library once housed the world's most important academic and occult documents. Rumor has it that it may contain a very early the Book of the Necromancer, but as the library burned down, none of this can be verified. The Chamber of Secrets in Arkham, USA, in HP, Massachusetts. Miska in Arkham. Tonic University has a copy of the Book of the Necromancer. Although Arkham is a fictional city, but there are some occultists who believe Lovecraft's story could be based on certain true events. While the shadow of this book is still hidden in some secret archives. Regarding the Book of the Necromancer, the records are not limited to history and legend. Some modern paranormal events are also suspected of being involved in it. 1981, mysterious tragedy at a Soviet research station. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union established a secret scientific research base in Siberia. specializing in psychology, the influence of religious beliefs and extreme environments on the human spirit. However, in the winter of 1981, all 23 researchers at the base are missing. Only a charred notebook was left at the scene. The content mentions an ancient ritual. It is suspected to be related to the Book of the Dead. 1997. Unknown symbols at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. A Swedish expedition was exploring the bottom of the Baltic Sea. A massive stone structure was discovered. It is engraved with symbols that do not belong to any known language. After analysis, the arrangement of some symbols is similar to the ancient summoning rituals in the Book of the Necromancer are similar. Even more bizarre, the members of the expedition reported that, after approaching the site, their equipment malfunctioned frequently. Some people even start having the same nightmares. The dream was filled with indescribable darkness. 2013, a university's Black Handout incident. An American university professor was studying ancient occult texts, received an anonymous email. The attachment contains a scanned document. The title is Necronomicon Fragment, the Book of the Necronomicon Fragment. The professor began to suffer from severe insanity after reading. He was eventually sent to a mental hospital. The sender of that email has never been traced, as if it had never existed. With the popularity of the internet, some occultists believe that the Book of the Dead, some of the content may have been quietly converted into digital format and hide in the dark web. The black books on the dark web. There is a rumor that, in some dark web forums, users can find the electronic version of the Book of the Necromancer, but anyone who attempts to download will encounter damage to their device. Data loss is even reported after files are opened. I heard a whisper in my ear. Can AI recreate the Book of the Dead? With the development of artificial intelligence technology, some researchers are starting to experiment with using AI to generate text, to speculate on what the Book of the Necromancer might contain. However, when some AI generates text, it will output some incomprehensible characters or sentences for no reason. This content is strikingly similar to the historically known summoning techniques. These phenomena are real and mysterious events. Or is it just a collective fantasy? No one can give a clear answer. But what is certain is that the Book of the Dead, it remains one of the most controversial taboo documents in the world. If the Book of the Necromancer really exists, will it bring knowledge or destruction? Throughout history, many great civilizations are doomed by excessive pursuit of the unknown. For example, Babylon, the Mayan civilization, Atlantis. Is there some higher power? The story of the Necromancer continued. If it does exist, maybe it's not as legendary as it is. It's a taboo book that could destroy the world. It's a remnant of some ancient wisdom. It's just that humans haven't been able to truly understand the secrets.